Hello, 70.3 Washington hopefuls, wannabes, training, nervous, anxious, tapering, whatever you're doing at this point in time. Time of this recording, we're about 9 days away, about a week away from race day. So, hopefully you've done your training beforehand because now's not the time to cram last minute for the test. But we're not here to talk about your training specifically. We're here to talk about your support crew, the spectators, the Sherpas, the super fans, whatever you want to call them. We're going to talk about where should they be during the race to watch you do the race. And what I would recommend, as far as I've done 8 full Ironman races, I've done 15 half Ironman races, and way too many other various distance triathlons, endurance races, runs, whatever to count. So this is from my experience. What I'm going to recommend as far as what you should have do your spectators do. I've done a general video about spectators and how to handle that kind of stuff, but I'm going to talk specifically about 70.3 Washington. I'm going to go over the course maps and kind of just point out where I think the best option for you guys to watch for athletes. If you're watching this as a spectator, or later you're an athlete and your spectators are going to come. So let's jump right into it. So when you get there, you have the Lake Wilderness area. I know me searching on the internet is as fun as watching paint dry, but what I want to do is look at where this race is going to be at, because you'll notice back when we did the athlete guide, there's going to be park and shuttles. More than likely, your spectators will have to do this if they want to watch you do the swim, because they're going to have you park up here, I think by the Lake Wilderness Elementary or some other places. Are going to have you shuttled into the park area to do your swim start. So I'm going to highly recommend, once you get there, your spectators need to plan on staying there. It's probably going to be kind of a pain and time consuming to come out and come back. So for most races, especially, if you're going to look at this one, there's a swim start. Here is the start for the bike course. Make sure I'm on the bike course, and then transition area. So this is the start and the finish, and then your run course, transition and finish line. So they're having everything based in the park. So there is really no reason to go out, if you're going to watch the swim start, to try to go out and watch people on the bike or the run. I think it's going to be kind of difficult to get out and get to your car to go any place. So let's go back to the swim. Transition's right by the start point. It's really not a long walk. If you look at the lake area, kind of zoom in there. We'll switch it over to satellite. Sorry if you can hear my dog upstairs chewing on a chew bone. That's the only way I can keep her quiet, so I can make this video for you guys. So if you look at the Lake Wilderness area, more than likely this is going to be where your transition's at, with all the parking spots or everything, because that's why they're shuttling people in, so they have more access for transition for athletes, spectators, all that good stuff. So this right here, more than likely, is going to be your swim start, swim finish, all that kind of good stuff. Good old boat dock. Transition might be here or here. It's kind of looking like this might be your transition area. Once you get on the ground, again, I'm not doing the race. I'm based in Kansas City, so I'm doing the best I can with the maps and everything, kind of showing you what I would recommend. So once you get in here, I would basically plan on, and the weather's looking nice, I'd plan on camping out for the day. So your spectators, your Sherpas, anybody, super fans, whoever's coming, tell them to bring a cooler, tell them to bring snacks, bring a backpack, bring food, probably bring a mask for the shuttles, and just prepare to be there all day. Some races have gotten wise in places where they kind of have you condensed and kind of not easy to get out of. They brought in food trucks and food vendors and other things. I wouldn't necessarily count on that. You could look through the athlete guide. Sometimes they have in there listed that they'll have vendors and stuff. They did it Ironman Boulder 70.3. They kind of wised up at the reservoir. Now, not to say they're going to do this at this event and race, but I mean, if you kind of zoom out, it's mostly residential area, so I think it's going to be very difficult. I mean, once you get up to the elementary school, maybe you got some gas stations and stuff, but once you're in the park, you're in the park. So if you want to be there at the swim start, if your Sherpas do, plan on them being there. I would not plan on them going out and venturing out and try to find you on a bike course. Just plan for them to hang out, do the swim start and swim exit, and watch you start off on the bike. Because looking at the bike course, I mean, once you're out of here, it's covering kind of a wide swath. So at no point in time do you probably want to be crossing the race course in any direction, because you're going to be sitting in traffic and it's going to be really long. Now, you could try to go around it and then hit spots at different locations, but honestly, I mean, there's some intersections where you'll see people coming out and going in. If you're going to be there at the swim start, I would not recommend leaving and trying to find some place on the bike course to watch your athletes. Now, you could skip the swim start and then maybe catch them at the little turnarounds or the U-turn or something like that, and then plan on coming back and then getting shuttles into the transition area. Now, that might be an option. So they can go out and they can camp out kind of on these spots where they're going to see you coming out and going in, catch you at this loop, the little turn right here. So you can see them multiple times. That would be my best recommendation. I would not come out here to where they're coming in off the bike, because once they pass you and they get out here, then it's going to be a minute before you can get back in the transition area with the shuttle system and everything, just because you can't park directly by transition area. And more than likely, the hike to get in there is going to be prohibitive to park and try to walk into the park. You're probably going to have to use the shuttle system. So make sure you're aware what that is. But that could be an option. Don't watch the swim start. Come watch your athlete on the bike. And once they pass you, kind of looks like here we're at the 35-mile mark. That should give you enough time before they get to 56 miles, unless your athlete is 25 miles an hour on a bike, to get up here, get to the shuttles, and then get back in the transition area. Because on the run, it's basically kind of an out and back, one loop, out and back. They come out here and do the run, and then they come out and catch this U-turn. This right here is a turn. They do not go out this U-turn and then come back. They come out, do a right, follow the trail, and then come back. So here's, once your athlete leaves here, if you're walking someplace, maybe you could walk up here and catch them on the turnaround, but you're going to miss them at the finish line. So again, it's kind of one of those things, maybe if you caught them on the bike ride and then you want to catch them on the run, maybe catch them on one of these spots early and then come over and try to park and get shuttles into the finish line and see them at the finish. I think that's going to be stressing out your Sherpas and your spectators and everything, because I think the shuttle system probably is going to be, unless it's a well-oiled machine, this is the first time they've done this race here, it's going to be kind of tough, I think, to time all that. So if they're not seeing you at the finish line isn't as much of a deal, maybe they can go see you on the course and kind of lift your spirits on those, hit an aid station. When you're looking at this, you can drive around the residential areas. There's probably a few little places to park, but I'd imagine it's going to be taken up by the people doing the aid stations and parking and everything. So really, I don't think this race is going to lend itself well to Sherpas going out and being on the course, because for half Ironman, 56 miles, you're looking maybe 2.5, 3.5, 4 hours. Maybe an opportunity to go catch somebody, like I said, kind of at the turnaround. Go out, catch them, come back in. But you're going to spend a lot of time probably waiting at stop signs and traffic and waiting on shuttles and stuff. Really, I would kind of camp out in the park area here. Get back to the Google view of it. So, there's the lodge. There's different things. I'd imagine there's playgrounds in here. Looks like there's some little trails and stuff. Some camping maybe. So I would just plan on bringing something to entertain yourself while your athlete is out there on the bike. And then when they come in and do the run, catching them in the transition area. Yeah, it's just going to be tough, I think, especially along this trail system, to time it, to be able to go out, to go over to catch them, and then come back and then catch them at the finish line. You can probably do it, but you're going to do a lot of run around, I think. So if you want to be stationary, you want to have your Ironman app, and you want to set up shop, you're going to catch them swim start, T2, and then coming back, or T1, and then T2, coming in, going off to the run, and at the finish line. So you catch them 4 times if you're hanging out in the transition area. Now, if you go out here, you could catch them maybe once on the bike and once on the run. But I hate to see people go out and try to do that and then end up just getting frustrated because they have to wait in traffic or something like that. Believe me, my spectators have done that in the past, my Sherpas, and it's just not fun when they're stuck in traffic and they can't get to where they want to go and then try to catch you to the finish line. So you don't want them stressing out about trying to catch you to the finish line. So again, it's kind of my recommendations. If you do want to go on the bike course, I definitely catch them at the points where you can see them twice, coming out and going in. Along this whole section, you're going to see them twice. Definitely get the Ironman app so you can see and track them as they're doing the course. But I would You skip this little part between this little loop section here and skip this loop because you only see them once. So, if you want to see them at the halfway point, then okay. But if you want to see them twice, this little section right here on the south side of things, south side of the lake, I think is your best bet. And I definitely would not try to catch them on the backside. And then if you want to catch them in transition, I think the transition is the biggest area, especially when they come off the bike. They're really tired of being on the bike. They need a little encouragement to start the run. They go out and do the run. If you do want to go catch them on the run, pretty much any place on the course, you're going to see them twice. You're going to see them twice out here, twice out here, twice out here. There's nothing but U-turns out there, and it's just a one-loop course. But once you see them, more than likely it's going to be difficult to get back in transition and see them at the finish line. So if you do go, I would say definitely, try to time it as best you can. You're going to have to be packed up, loaded, ready to go. You can't see them and then, okay, let's get the kids packed up. Let's head to the shuttles, get to the car, and go check them out in the transition area. And just looking around the lake area, for the most part, there's a little farmer's market over here. There's another elementary school. There's a golf course. There's really, it's more residential looking in this area. You got a KFC. You got a couple things going on up here, Taco Bell, up north of the lake area. But it's definitely not walking distance, and you're definitely going to have to take the shuttles, drive back, get to your car, and go wherever you want to go. Especially for a half, I would not venture out too far away from the transition area. That's just kind of my, and the weather's looking nice, so I don't think you're going to bake out there sitting at the lake. It looks like there's plenty of tree cover, so if you want to find some shade, it's going to be an early morning, so if you catch your swim start and swim exit, that bike ride is nighttime to go, take out your folding chair and find a spot underneath the tree, or just bring a blanket and lay on the grass and catch some Z's while they're out. Set a timer so you can check your Ironman app and see where they're at, and then catch them when they come in and catch them when they go off the run. And there's going to be tons of athletes coming and going, and bring a cowbell, cheer them on, that type of thing. So I think there's going to be plenty going on, especially so you don't have to necessarily feel like you're going to be bored and with nothing to do in here. I think there's going to be plenty of activities and stuff going on. So that's my recommendation. Kind of plan to be around the transition area, unless you're super mobile and maybe you found maybe you're going to bring a motorized scooter. I don't know. You probably can't bring none of the shuttle buses, but who knows? If you your athlete takes a shuttle and then you have a motorized scooter, that could be an option. I definitely would not drive a motorized scooter on the run trail. That is definitely not a recommendation. But it does look like there's some access roads that maybe something like that is an option if you're mobile like that. But if you've got kids and you bring a family, I plan on being camped out for the day and bring a backpack of snacks and just call it good morning and let people sleep. Bring a blanket, let them sleep under the tree, shade, something like that, and just lay back, have a good time. So with that's kind of my recommendations, because like I said, it's not really, it's not like a downtown area or something like that. It's kind of a, no pun intended, a wilderness area, like wilderness. And it's really not an area where you're going to have immediate access to meals, food, a quick shop or anything, a gas station or anything like that. So I think that's going to be your best bet, is just plan on being located in transition for your athlete to watch them, and that's going to give you the best bang for your buck. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think there's something else around here that I totally missed, look at Google Maps. It's, maybe you go to Polished Pottery or something like that. It's like somebody's house. Yeah. So, if you got some other, hey, you can do this, that, and the other, drop it in the comments and let people know about that. If you're seeing this on YouTube, drop it in the comments there. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see future videos for other races. I'm doing other races too. I just have athletes doing this race that I've been training for, and just make these videos so they can live on forever, and I can show them my current athletes and not answer the same question more than once or twice or something like that. So with that, I'm going to end this video. 70.3 Washington, my Spectator recommendations. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you out there on race day, and good luck.